I'm going to show you how to run the Forest Health QM for a fuels reduction project. In this case, it's a really simple CFIP project. So the first thing that we are going to do is open up our GHG form, which has all of our project information. Close this one. So it has different tabs here at the bottom: project, reforestation. We are going to focus on the fuels reduction tab. And then we are going to open a blank calculator tool. So I will find that. There's our blank calculator tool. We're going to fill out the information on this calculator tool. So our project name we put here, and we get that from this very first tab. So it's Sanctuary Forest CFIP is the project name. Grant ID number is this one. We want to make sure that the grant ID number, if it's a CAL FIRE project, starts with 8GG. And then this contact stuff, we don't need to fill out right now, but I will go ahead and say that I am completing the QM on the 5th. Then I will go back to my fuels reduction tab and go to this fuels reduction tab of the GHG form, and I will put in the TCN. But because this is a CFIP project, there's no TCN actually here on the form. So we can leave that blank for now. The R scripts will generate a TCN that we can put back here later if we want. Then we fill out the forest productivity class, which in this case is right here on this form, and it says class 2 or 3. So I select that. And then the treatment year is 2026. And then these numbers automatically populate. And for fuels reduction, that's actually all that we put in to start with, and the rest of these numbers we need to calculate using scripts. So now we open up our project vars script and we fill the information out specific to our project. So there's our grant ID number. I will put in Sanctuary Forest here. And because this is a future project, 2022 is the best we can do in terms of tree map year, so we'll leave that. There is no fire year because this is not a reforestation project, so it doesn't matter what we put here. We can just leave it the way it is. We do not need to put anything here because this is just for reforestation as well. And then this is the most important line. This is where the shapefile is going to be located. So we'll look in the file explorer for this project and find the location of that shapefile. So I will change this file path. It's going to be CFIP. And then I'll copy and paste the name of this folder. Shapefile is the subfolder where those shapefiles are located. And in this case, the whole project only has one treatment, so there's only one shapefile. Then everything else in here can stay the same. So I'll save this. And while we're at it, I might as well update the treatment as well. The TCN, I just know that the way that the scripts work, if there's no TCN already assigned, then the scripts generate a TCN that's 1 new, 2 new, 3 new. But because there's only one treatment in this project, it's just going to be 1 new. And then we get our end year from the calculator tool. So the end of project, it says 2086. I'll type in 2086. And this we will use both treatment area and impact area. I'll start with treatment area, and acreage doesn't matter because it's just for reforestation, so I can just ignore that line. Now we open our script 1 and we hit render. And this shouldn't take too long to render because there's only one treatment. And then the rendered HTML file will automatically pop up if it works correctly. Here's our HTML file. We want to make sure, yes, it's sanctuary forest. And then we can scroll all the way down. There's going to be a bunch of maps. Here's the impact area surrounding the treatment. And then at the very bottom, it will show us where the treatment is located in California, and it will tell us which FVS variant to use. So in this case, the variant is NC. Now we move on to script 2. We just open it and hit render. This script creates the files that we will use for FVS. And it worked. So we're good. Now we are going to open FVS. It takes a minute to open sometimes. And we are going to begin a new project. To do that, we go Manage Projects, New Project Title, and the title of the project will be the project ID and then the TCN. So this is 8GG2530001 new. We hit Make New Project. Open Selected Project. And now we need to add the input data that we just created. So we go Manage Project, Import Input Data, Browse. Now we will navigate to FVS Input folder. We're going to select, here's our project. One of them has IA in the title and one does not. So for now, we're doing the treatment area, not the impact area. So we'll select this one that does not have IA in the name. We'll hit open. And then after you open it, you need to hit install. We can ignore this warning. Now I'm going to pull over my FVS instructions to refer to. We need to add all stands. So we go simulate. all stands, scroll down and hit add stands in selected group, and that will add everything here. Then I like to change the run title now to baseline no fire, because that's the first run that we're going to do. Then hit save. And now we're going to configure for all runs. So for this, there's some variables that we're going to set every time we run FVS, and they're listed out in this table, table 33. So first, time. We go simulate, time, and then to get our common starting year, it's the year in which the treatment will happen. So we're going to find that from our calculator tool, which we just typed in. So it's 2026. Great, it's already there. And then common ending year, you think it's going to be just this end of project, but you actually need to add 1 year just to get FVS to give you the outputs for the ending year. So we're going to do 2087. Growth and reporting interval is always 5. So we're done with this first row. Now the first 3 rows. And now we're going to move on to this portion. So we go simulate components, keywords. Extension is fire and fuels extension. We're going to do keyword carb calc. This is always going to be 1 and 2, and everything else we leave the same and we hit save. And then we're going to do another fire and fuels extension keyword, which is fire calc. This one's going to be 1, 2, leave everything the same, and hit save. Now I'm going to go back down to the instructions that we were referring to here. So we've done this step from table 33. Now we're going to add natural regeneration. To do that, we do editor, browse. We're going to go into our data folder, find the regimpute variant outputs. We need to make sure that this matches the variant, which was NC. So we select NC, and then it's the species method, hit open. And then once that's loaded, you can do save and run. All right, now we've done that step, so we're going to move on to select outputs. Go here, carbon and fuels, fire and mortality, stand structure. We've already renamed it as baseline no fire, but now we're going to rename this under run to BSNF. And background runs are more convenient and take less time. So you can choose how many cores. Right here, this will tell you how many cores are on your computer. Mine only has 12. And I want to be able to do multiple simultaneous runs and also leave a couple of cores for my computer to run. So I'm going to go to 4, and then I'm going to hit save and run. And this background run status is telling me that BSNF is running right now, but even though it's running, I can start a different run. So I will go ahead and move on to the baseline with fire. I'll duplicate, rename, and then hit save. And to check that you did that properly, you can go on this drop down and see which runs there are. So we're good there. Now this is our baseline with fire, so we need to add a simulated fire. You go keywords, extensions, fire and fuels extension, sim fire. Now, what year do we need to do it in? We look at the calculator and it'll tell us right here, 2031. It's always going to be 5 years after the treatment. And then we're going to refer to these parameters here. So wind speed, 20. Moisture level, very dry, so that's all good. Temperature is at 90. Mortality code 1. Percent burned 100. Season of fire, we're going to change to fall. And then save and run. Go to run. Management ID. Rename to baseline with fire. Run in background, 4 cores, save and run. We have 2 runs going at the same time, but we have enough cores left that we can start a third. So I will duplicate this one, change it to TRWF, which is treatment with fire, and save it. And make sure we have all 3. Yep. Now we need to add our management because this is treatment with fire. So we go management, fuels treatments, and then we need to refer back to this info about our project to see what kind of fuels treatment what happened. Here it says thinning from below, so we're going to select thin from below. And then what year did it happen? 2026. And then we're going to look at this detailed information about the project to fill these out. Residual density is going to come from right here, and it's 50. And then we need to know, is this in trees per acre or basal area? That comes from this one right here. So we can leave it at trees per acre. Smallest DBH to be considered for removal, 0. Largest, looks like it's 8, because that's what it says right here. Proportion of small trees left. This does not come from the project proponent. This is standardized across all runs. So here it's going to be 0.01 no matter what. And then slash only branch wood left on site. And we hit save and run. Now going back to our instructions, we gotta go under event monitor. And then this is going to create a new output variable that we are defining. So we hit compute stand variables in editor. Then we are literally just going to copy and paste this exactly. And save and run. Now we are ready to run the treatment with fire. And as you can see, the other 2 runs already finished. Hit save and run. Now we are ready to do our very last run, which is treatment no fire. So we duplicate, NF, save. Now we have all 4 of our runs. As you can see over here, we need to delete SimFire because this is a no fire scenario. To delete SimFire, you can highlight SimFire on any of these stands and it'll automatically highlight them for all stands, and then you hit cut/delete. Now we have no SimFire. So we can go run, rename. Since we only have a couple going right now, I'm going to bump this up to 6. Save and run. And now we are just waiting for these to run, and then we can download the outputs. So I will stop this video and start a new one to show the next steps when this is done.